and welcome to episode 6 of the Midnight Ramblers. I am your host, Natalie.
I am Justin.
And this is Mac.
And we are the Ramblers. We are recording on a Tuesday, so everyone got back from work. How was work, everyone?
It was long and tiring.
Yeah.
But good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was work.
It was work, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, a weekday. If you hear, Jenny is enjoying a dental treat. So if you hear her in the background or you hear something that sounds like someone eating mashed potatoes really loud with their mouths open, it's probably Jenny, our dog.
Yeah.
Okay, well, today's theme is what did I just read? In last week's episode, which was it on family?
I think that one was on family.
Yeah. We did a lot of Reddit stories. And I was going to try to do things other than Reddit stories. But as I was on Reddit this past week, I saw like so many Reddit posts that just like my jaw dropped. Like,
more than usual.
Yeah, more than usual. And I was like, is there like a pattern or is something going on with Redditors this week? Like, this is unnecessary. So I'm really excited to share with you guys the crazy Reddit stories I found. Reddit stories are just more fun anyway, so
I love it. And I love a good Reddit story. So I'm very excited to see what Reddit stories you have that are more jaw-dropping than usual.
Thank you. I'm very excited. Are you excited, babe?
Absolutely.
Yes, he's quaking in his boots.
Yes, look at those boots.
I know.
I'm barefoot.
Pics.
Anyways, let's get started. The first story, which was posted on r/Am I the Devil. It was originally on r/Am I the Asshole.
Okay. So you can change what subreddit it's on?
So people from like one subreddit can be like, oh, I want to post this. It's like reposting basically.
Okay. The
original post was by user accurate_corner_7887. And the title is, Am I the asshole for leaving my roommate's insulin out of the fridge to spoil?
Yes.
So wait, hold on. Say that title again?
Am I the asshole for leaving my roommate's insulin out of the fridge to spoil?
Okay, because it would be different if it was like, if I accidentally, but they're literally making it sound like it was their intention to leave it out to spoil.
Oh, here. So I'm so sorry. This was the Am I the Devil title. The Am I the Asshole title is, Am I the asshole for moving my roommate's insulin out of the way?
Those are very two different things.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready to determine if this person is
an
rude
a-hole
or not.
Yeah. Okay. Am I the asshole for moving my roommate's insulin out of the way? So my 27 male roommate, 23 female, is a type 1 diabetic, and she stores her insulin in the refrigerator. I decided to throw a huge surprise party for my best friend, 28 male, this weekend. I knew the party would be a massive hit, and I was super excited to see the look on his face when he walked in.
I feel like I can already tell where this is going, and this is horrible. It's what I'm thinking. Okay, keep going.
To make the party unforgettable, I ordered a giant custom-made ice cream cake, which needed to be kept in the fridge. When I got home with the cake, I realized there wasn't enough room in the fridge for it.
Okay. Sorry.
My roommate wasn't home, so I couldn't ask her if I could rearrange her stuff. I saw her insulin, and I thought it would be no big deal if I took it out for a few hours while the party was going on, just to make room for the cake. I mean, I didn't think she would need it during the party since she wasn't even invited. Anyway, my roommate came home unexpectedly during the party, noticed her insulin was missing, and absolutely freaked out. She started yelling at me in front of all my guests, making a scene and totally ruining the vibe. She went on this whole...
Oh no, not the vibe.
She went on this whole rant about how this type of insulin spoils quickly at room temperature or something, and she made a big scene of throwing it all out. I looked it up, and I'm 90% sure she's exaggerating. She had to take some emergency insulin she keeps in her room and left the party visibly upset. Now everyone's telling me I'm the asshole for taking her insulin out of the fridge, even though it was only for a few hours. I think she overreacted. It's not my fault she came home early. Am I the asshole?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, hold on. Hanson, you go while I look up something.
This is what did I just read, so we all know that that's messed up. You know that you should not mess with somebody's medicine. Was this in America? Because that just makes it like 10 times worse.
I don't know. They sound American. I don't know why. Just like the vibes, dude. Like
That shit ain't free.
Okay, well, it is interesting because, like, I mean, I'm not the end-all, be-all of insulin facts, and maybe if there are any listeners that use insulin or are diabetic, they would have more information. But everything I'm seeing on the internet says that it could last up to 28 days unrefrigerated.
maybe.
I mean, either way, I would never mess with someone's insulin.
For sure.
Like something that they depend on for their livelihood.
Yeah, what was
No,
that?
I would not even risk that.
And even like, I don't know, like, again, maybe she was exaggerating, maybe she wasn't, but this person specifically says that how she says that this type of insulin spoils quickly at room temperature. So I don't know if
Yeah, maybe it's a special kind. I don't know I don't know that there would be a special kind of insulin. But yeah, everything I'm saying is saying 28 days, 28 to 30 days. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, even
Very
like
interesting.
it's still like, to me, it doesn't even matter.
I'd be mad if you took my fucking milk out and left it on the counter for a few hours. Like, let alone my medicine.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't think it matters.
Because here's the thing. Did OP, like, know that generally insulin takes like 28 days to go bad? Or did they just take it out without even, looking that information up or doing anything? Like, they didn't know anything about insulin, is my guess.
Yeah.
And just took it out. You don't know. You could have literally, like, all of that could have gone bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe it did. Maybe it's like a special kind of insulin that goes bad in a few hours versus the insulin that goes bad in 28 days.
Mhm.
But either way, yeah, I just wouldn't mess with somebody's livelihood like that.
Plus,
It's
like,
not worth it.
based on the roommate's language, I might be more concerned that I was out longer than how he said, because he literally says, his last sentence is, I think she overreacted and it's not my fault she came home early. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you would have put it back in the fridge and pretended like you never had it out, so she never would have found out? What do you mean it's her fault that she came early?
It sounds like they have a very contentious relationship. Like, if she is exaggerating, like, I totally get that, where you feel the need to exaggerate because, like, you're trying to make a point.
Yeah, if he's like
about what your
constantly
roommate's
doing this.
Yeah. And then but OP also sounds like a jerk. So it kind of just sounds like a very contentious relationship. Not
Yeah.
that justifies anything. Taking your roommate's medicine out of the fridge to make room for an ice cream cake.
Yeah.
I don't think, no, that doesn't justify it. But it does sound like it's a contentious relationship where she also, contributed to the, I don't want to say drama because, I mean, it's her life.
Right.
But to the exaggeration, I guess.
Yeah. And the language throughout just seems like a little self-centered.
Yeah. She wasn't invited to in the first place.
Yeah,
I'm
she
like,
wasn't invited to it. I didn't think she would need it during the party since she wasn't even invited. Okay, she doesn't need it for the party. What about for the rest of her life? Like, I don't understand what
what time is she coming home?
is.
Yeah. Like, is she not coming back all night? Because if she's coming back, I mean, if she's not going to need it for the party, so I'm going to put it back. And that's another thing. Like, he's like, it would be something like, oh, my roommate's not going to be here for a week, so I'm going to keep the milk out while they're gone, and then I'm going to put it back in before they come back home. You know what I mean? And by the end of the week, you put it back in, and your roommate comes home and drinks the spoiled milk, and they're like, what the hell? Like, this is nasty. And what would have happened if, like, it did go bad, and he just put it back in the fridge,
Yeah.
and then she took it, and she got super ill? he was just gonna take it out and not tell her, oh, hey, I took this out for a few hours. I hope it's okay. Or, you know.
Yeah.
Like, he would have just let her take it.
Exactly.
And it could have been, like, he obviously doesn't, he's not an expert on insulin. I'm not an expert on the insulin either. I'm not saying I am.
Right.
But he definitely is not. And so he doesn't know what the effects could be. And he just took it out and wasn't going to tell her. Yeah. I just think.
Why do you even feel like you have to ask this question?
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, babe?
I think I said everything.
Okay, well, short and sweet, honestly. I feel like that one was pretty clear.
Yeah, that one was very, very clear. I immediately, when in the beginning, after like the first couple sentences, when they were like, oh, my roommate keeps her insulin in the fridge, and then I was having a party. I was like, okay, I see where this is going. Something needs to go in the fridge for your party.
So this next post was posted on r/TrueOffMyChest by user Ultra Secret Ack. Yes. Okay.
Nice.
And this was posted 2 months ago.
Okay.
And it has updates.
Oh.
Yeah.
Love a good update.
The title is She Put Nair in the Conditioner.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah. Do you know what Nair is, babe?
It's hair remover.
Yeah. Okay.
Why are you not freaking out more about this?
I'm ready for the story.
Okay. I, 19 female, have a friend, 20 female, who I share natural hair tips / product recommendations with. And she wanted me to try this deep conditioner she was loving and get my opinion on it, and just gave me the jar to borrow, which I was like, oh, cool, because I didn't want to spend money on something I probably wasn't going to use after the one time anyways, since I already have stuff that's worked just fine for my hair. I did my usual wash routine, and I looked the product up before using it, read some pretty good reviews. But what had me a little confused were the people loving the smell. Because mine smelled awful. Like trying to spray perfume over rotting food. I got paranoid, I guess. But I was like, no way, right? So I put a little on my arm. And at first I was like, okay, I'm being silly. But waited. And then got that familiar tingle most people know if they've ever gotten tired of the typical manual shave. I rubbed it off, and what do you know? The spot is now hairless. Now I'm not sure if it was Nair exactly because it was mixed with the conditioner, but definitely some hair removal cream regardless. A little something about deep conditioner / hair masks. You typically leave them in for 30 plus minutes. And I'm sure I would have noticed if my scalp started tingling, but screw being bald, I could have gotten chemically burned.
Yeah.
I almost didn't want to blame her exactly, but she literally used it before offering it to me. She texted me asking when I plan on using it, since I didn't tell her I was doing my wash day, and I don't even know how to confront her. Small edit. Worst part about this is my birthday is literally in 2 days, and she was probably counting on me using it before then. That's the
What in the
original post.
world? Why would, I mean, I need to know, like, what was her motive for doing this?
Mm-hmm. Any comments?
That's messed up.
Insightful.
It just doesn't make any sense.
How would you feel if, like, you found out, like, when you were living with Moore, if he did that, he put, like, Nair in your shampoo?
Yeah, your beautiful, beautiful long locks, Hanson.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah? What would you do?
We'd be fighting, probably. Handle conflict differently. So.
Yeah.
But that's very targeted, horrible stuff.
Right.
That's something I'd be very mad about.
Yeah.
I would immediately confront the person. Like,
Would you ever do that
what
to
the
someone?
fuck? Of course not.
No. Maya, what would you do if you found out that, like, Liz, hello Liz, had put, I'm not accusing, if Liz had put Nair in your conditioner?
This is really hard because I cannot imagine a world where Liz would ever do this. But
Right.
I'm
But
like,
that's why I'm choosing
Yeah.
this, because
it's yeah.
they're friends.
I honestly feel like I wouldn't know what to do. Like, I just wouldn't believe that it had happened. This obviously sounds intentional, and I was worried as you were reading it that OP was not understanding that this was obviously intentional. Because it sounded like to me that she was thinking it was some kind of mistake or something. And,
Yeah.
And I was like, see, if this happened to me, I probably, like, with somebody that I love and know, I would probably be like, this has to be some kind of mistake.
Yes.
Like, I don't know what's happening.
Exactly.
How did
I
their
think
hair
that's what's
not fall
going
out?
on.
Yeah. But then at the very end, she says, I think she was counting on.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I'm glad you came to the realization that it sounds like your roommate did this intentionally and
Yeah.
on purpose. and I don't know what's going on. Is it roommate or friend or both?
Friend.
Okay, friend. Yeah.
Well,
I just, yeah. I mean, what would you do?
I feel like personally, I would confront them, even if it was hard for me to believe. And maybe just because I never had a connection with a roommate as strong as maybe yours and Liz's connection. But I loved my roommate, Monica. Hello, Monica. If you're listening, I miss you. But I don't know. Like, I feel like you never truly, like, I had only known her my freshman and sophomore year. We weren't in the same classes. I really only was able to hang out with her and get to know her when we were home. And so, like, you don't know what they are outside of the bedroom, outside of our little
shared space.
Yes. So I feel like I might definitely question, like, is this for real? But I would probably confront her.
Honestly,
about it for sure.
I think you have a point. Like, I think I would probably have brought it up, but not with any intention of being like, like trying to call her out or assuming that she did anything. I think I probably would have been like, how come your hair isn't falling out? You know what I mean? Like, I probably would have been like genuinely like, how did you not, did it smell bad to you? You know what I mean? Just not even believing it.
But I think it's good that she didn't confront this girl right away because, and I'm glad she went to Reddit first because a lot of people were commenting a lot of different things and
like what?
Well, she'll talk about it. So I'll read you the next update.
Okay, let's go.
I decided to make a new post because I talk too much and I know this is going to be long and at least the comments will be separate from the ones from the original so everyone can give an updated opinion. I appreciate everyone's comments. I replied to a few, read a lot of them. I didn't expect this to blow up, but honestly, I'd be curious too, so I get it. A lot of people actually commented about their experience with chemical burns, specifically from Nair, and how I dodged a bullet. Like, holy hell, my eyesight is already trash. I have very thick frames, and it was also brought to my attention that it could have gotten into my eyes as well. That could have gone so wrong. To mass answer the common questions, though, I've been friends with her for a while. She went natural a year ago. We've never argued. She's never done anything like this before. She lives in a college dorm where no one else has access to her stuff but her. She was invited to hang out with me for my birthday, but she said she couldn't go. Sorry to the devil's advocates. I was rooting for y'all. I tried to think of what else could have happened to avoid making her the only suspect, but I took a bit of advice from everyone. I'm going to read the next update.
Wait, really quickly, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, so, well, first of all, what does she mean that this friend went natural?
I think, like, I want to say, like, natural hair.
Okay. So I'm assuming these are curly girl hairs? Like, curly hair girls? Curly hair girls?
I don't know. I don't know if,
That's
like,
what I'm
people were
assuming.
asking questions about, like, what type, like, if there was something about dye, or I don't know, like, if there were certain clues given by different hair types and products and styles and stuff. But my guess is that she used to do something with her hair, whether that be like straighten it or curl it or dye it, and now she's not doing that anymore.
Okay. And then my second question is, and just to clarify, so I know OP never used the conditioner on the hair on her head, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that because I know she talked about the smell? Is it because she smelled it first?
Yeah.
Okay. And then she tested on her arm, she said?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was specifically like, it was because she checked the product beforehand. Everyone, I guess, like all the comments were saying how they loved the smell. And so when she put it in her hand, she probably she was like, oh, I wonder what it smells like. And was like, oh, this is actually disgusting.
I feel like this is a really good cautionary tale, just in general, about products, like,
and borrowing,
I don't
especially.
know. Yeah, borrowing especially. Maybe just smell your products beforehand just to double check that it's not contaminated or Nair or
for sure
tampered with. Anyway, okay. I'm ready for the next one.
Okay.
Update.
I went ahead and pretended like I had no clue. I told her I was trying it today with my mom, and she said, oh, okay. Then I said my mom thinks it smells weird. Is it supposed to smell like that? I don't think my mom wants to use it. She was like, oh, it smelled fine to me. Well, are you still going to try it? I don't respond for a while, and then I tell her my mother and I did a patch test on our arms and it burned us. Just for her reaction, we are fine. So they didn't really do it. They were just doing it for her reaction. I tell her my mother is pissed and I start asking her where she got it from. Did someone else do something to it? Where did you get this? My mom wants to file a complaint and she blocks me, like straight up on socials too.
Whoa.
Police are involved though. I don't really want to press charges, but basically just scare her. But my mom is handling that for the most part because she used to be an officer and I'm a little on the spectrum. I don't know how to communicate with police. I've never had to, but they were very nice. I gave them the jar, texts, and a written statement. I do plan on emailing her school with Why can I not read today? I do plan on emailing her school with concern for her roommates, plus I think the police will want to speak to her, so she will probably be getting a visit anyway. If that goes anywhere, I will certainly update. I'm pretty safe at home for those of you concerned she might do something crazy. I've got 2 dogs, cameras, a smart lock, good neighbors. I also blocked her in return. I am definitely not sure what the motive behind this was. The police asked me as well, and I told them I had no idea because, again, never had issues with her. I made a group chat with all our mutual friends, which is just like 4 to 5 people, and let them know as well. They also had no clue why she did it. She hasn't even said anything to them about me, so we're all in the dark. One of our girlfriends went to text her and got blocked, and all she said was, "Hey, everything okay?" I saw a lot of people theorizing that I did something to her, like sleep with her crush or piss her off somehow, but I didn't. I know that's technically biased, but we've literally never given each other something to argue about or anything because we're just casual friends. We have completely different circles. I don't even go to her college. I don't know how to emphasize this any more than needed. That's why this has scared me so bad because I can't even imagine what came over her to do this. A lot of you saw the post on my profile from another sub that contained the pic of me and obviously my hair, and yeah, you can see why I'd be pissed off. Thank you all for the advice, though. It helped. I plan on enjoying my birthday, not bald or chemically burned, thanks to the heavens. Shout out to the hair brand, though. The product does seem actually decent and has nothing but 5 stars, so maybe I will actually try the real thing in the future, because at least if I get it myself, I know it's not going to melt my hair/scalp. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
I was hoping for a police update.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't think there is.
This is just an attack. It's so messed up.
So either her friend is a sociopath,
Yeah,
or she has some beef with this person.
People can pick out others for just the pettiest of reasons to do things to them. Like, I don't think that the person is lying when they say that they didn't really do anything, but I'm just so curious what it is that they were targeted for.
right. Even if it's something that was a misunderstanding too, because that could have been it. Like maybe you didn't sleep with her crush, but maybe she thinks you did, type of thing. You know, something like that.
But even in a scenario like that, you wouldn't.
So extreme.
That is so extreme.
No, for sure. She definitely needs to seek help.
And it's like, and I don't know, like, what kind of friend does this? So to me, I'm like, if they've been friends for a while, okay, I guess. And if the mom's been involved, I guess her mom would have judgment too on whether or not this is a real friend or not. In my mind, I was like, either this person's a sociopath or she's not a friend and she's a bully, and the OP doesn't realize that. But also, this is the first time that something like this has happened. And I'm guessing that she's not a bully. It's just like so strange that this would happen out of seemingly nowhere.
They've been friends for a year, and they have 4 to 5 mutual friends. So it's just weird that none of this has come up. Nothing like this has happened in this year of friendship that they've had.
It is just weird too, like the added details of her calling to see if she had tested it out yet, and oh, your mom's not gonna do it. Are you still gonna do it? You know,
just make yourself more obvious, please.
I know. Yeah. Well, that's awful.
Super strange.
I'm so sorry to hear that she realized a friendship wasn't really a friendship and that something weird was going on.
Yeah.
Ay, man.
Yeah.
Very sad.
A lot of these stories is just like so jaw-dropping. I feel like we're not giving like as detailed responses because it's just like literally what did I just read?
Yeah, the title for this episode is so spot on.
Okay,
because I literally keep being like, earthquake.
What the fuck? It's 8:13.
Yeah, what are they doing? Jazzercise?
Jazzercise isn't that intense.
Well, anyways, let's move on to the next story.
If there's anyone out there who does jazzercise and is mad at what I just said, I'm sorry. I don't understand jazzercise.
Worried about offending people about jazzercise.
You should never knock somebody for the way that they choose to exercise.
I like how that was a full 30 seconds later.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. Let me backtrack for a
My
second.
conscience is slow, I'll be honest. Whatever you choose to do. Jazzercise, Zumba, Disney dancing.
Did you just say Zumba?
Yeah, he said Zumba.
Is that what it is?
Zumba.
Do you call it Zumba? Did Michigananians call it Zumba?
I've only seen that word written down. Isn't it Zumba?
It's Zumba.
Why not use two O's? Why
It's
not
like
use
Hulu
two U's?
is not Hulla.
Hello.
I love you.
But you're so-
and I love
but you're so
everything about you. And
That wasn't the craziest thing you said. About the craziest thing you said was like, hold on, what? What was it? Weaponized incompetence.
Yeah.
Incompetence,
Yeah,
yes.
that was a good one. Sorry, we'll keep bringing that up and
Every
never
episode.
let it go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the next post. This was posted on r/wedding shaming. Look at my assortment of subreddits that I'm going through today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wait, say this one again. What was the subreddit?
r/wedding shaming.
Okay, it's a very specific subreddit.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised. Okay. But yes, I'm ready.
And it was posted by user complete_hold_6572. All right. The title is Maid of Honor plus Matron of Honor Disastrous Speeches. I went to a wedding this past Friday night. The bride had both a maid of honor, who was apparently a lifelong friend of the groom, and a matron of honor, who was a lifetime friend of the bride. When the time came for speeches, the maid of honor stood in front of 200 people about. She was wearing a black sports bra under her bridesmaid dress. She started by saying, I was surprised when Kelly asked me to be maid of honor, as I feel like we just met, and I don't really know her. She's known Kelly for a few years, as Kelly dated and then was engaged to Chuck, the groom. She then went on about how she feels she hardly knows Kelly, and ended with, even if they get divorced, Kelly has always had an easy time finding men. We sat there, stunned, not sure what we just saw. Cue Matron of Honor, who has known Kelly for nearly 20 years. Many years ago, Kelly had briefly dated the Matron of Honor's brother in high school. The Matron of Honor used her speech to talk at length about how happy she was when Kelly was dating her brother, and how she always hoped they'd wind up being family, how happy Kelly seemed when she was dating the brother, and how her brother is still single. End of speech. That was it. The best man then gave his speech. He started with, well, how do I follow that? That's the whole post.
That's the whole post?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't know how to follow that either.
What? Okay, let's just say, it's our wedding, babe, right?
Yeah.
And your friends do this to you.
They wouldn't.
But let's just say it happens.
It's
How
impossible.
would you react?
Well, I don't think I'd react very well.
Would you get up and say something, or would you feel like you need to let them finish and then talk to them in private?
I mean, I probably wouldn't let them finish. If I was close by, I'd be like, yo, dude, just come down. I'd pull them down. But my brother's gonna be my
Your brother's
best
amazing.
man. And he is the best with
Very sweet.
very sweet speeches. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's gonna nail it.
I can't wait to hear that speech, Brandon. And Brandon, my brother, and Justin's brother. Both Brandon. Mac, How would you handle that situation?
I feel like I'm just not a very confrontational person. And in moments like these, I tend to just let it happen. And just because I'm in shock, I don't know what to do. So I probably just would let it go. And then maybe afterward, just be like, oh, what the hell? What was that? Or maybe I'd let you handle that. You go and figure out what was going on.
I was literally gonna say, like, if that happens at your wedding, don't worry about it. I will stop.
You too.
I will stop it if I see where it's headed. I would make sure I stopped it before it went any further, and then I would take them to a separate room, question them with the light on them, and then kick them out. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Unacceptable.
At first, I thought the matron of honor, which is just, can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
So, maid of honor, matron of honor, what's the difference? Like, what's happening
matron
there?
is someone who's married.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah. I had to look it up too because I was like...
Interesting. Okay, so there are 2 maids of honor, basically.
Yeah.
But one of them's married. Okay, that is so good to know. Okay, because when they started saying the matron of honor was about to speak, I was like, oh, okay, the matron of honor is going to save the day. And, like, she's going to have some amazing speech. As you were reading the matron of honor speech, I was kind of like... In my mind, I was thinking of it in a nice light because I was still expecting this to be a good speech. And then it gets to the end, I'm like, this is not a good speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so Akko Taco. Like, why would anybody... And the first one, I mean, did you think it was a good idea to talk about how much you didn't know the person? And it sounds like you did know the person for a substantial amount of time.
You know what's interesting about the first one is that even though the maid of honor has known Kelly for a few years, the maid of honor was a lifelong friend of the groom, not the bride. And so it kind of raises questions like, why are you acting like this? Why are you being kind of rude?
True.
Do you have like...
Because you could have just said some stuff about the groom if you really didn't have anything nice to say about the bride, I guess. I mean, but that's weird because you are the maid of honor, and I'm assuming that you're standing on her side. If you're not like the...
But even then, you know them both.
Yeah.
You just...
And the fact that she's, like, claiming she doesn't know this, you know. She doesn't know Kelly. I don't know Kelly. But she's always been able to find men.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you're going to claim you don't know her enough to talk about her personality and what kind of a person she is and what kind of bride you think she'll be, what kind of wife you think she'll be, what kind of husband you think the groom's going to be, you know, in a positive light. But then you know her enough to be like, oh, but she can find any man. Yeah. Because she gets around. Is that what she's trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, that's, again, I'm going to reiterate how Akko Taco it is. And why would you do that to yourself and to the people at the wedding?
Yeah.
Weddings are... No. I'm just a big no-no.
Yeah.
For me.
Pro tip. If you're ever doing a speech in a wedding, don't mention divorce.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Pro tip. Yes. Hold on.
I did a speech in a wedding one time, so I am 100% qualified to give everyone advice.
Yes, me too.
Me three.
But yeah, I don't think mentioning divorce is good unless there's some beautiful way you can spin it. Like it shouldn't be used as like, if you get divorced, whoop-de-doo. Yeah, like don't worry, you're so hot, you're too good for it. I don't know, just like I can't see like a great way to spin that.
Yeah,
divorce can't keep you down, Kelly.
So that was the other story. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And this one is probably going to be quick. So, trigger warning on this one. This story mentions sexual assault. It's pretty serious. So, if you feel like you need to skip, I'll try to put some timestamps in here for YouTube watchers and whatever platform can make that work. So, this post was posted on r/AITAH, which is another Am I the Asshole subreddit. And it was posted by user Stiatoda 2019. The title of this is, Am I the Asshole for getting mad at my fiance for saying I'm just as bad as my rapist?
Say that one more time. Yeah. I'm so lost.
Am I the asshole for getting mad at my fiance for saying I'm just as bad as my rapist?
That's so fucked up.
Yeah. My 19 female, fiance, 27 female, have been together for a year. I have severe I have severe PTSD and tend to completely shut down or get defensive when I feel threatened. Example, during arguments or fights, or if something really triggers it. I was raped twice before we were together, years apart. My father was in a gang and he sold my virginity to my first rapist. I later watched him get unalived for something unrelated. My second rapist ended up becoming my stalker. He tried to kill me the first time, fucked me up, and the police can't find him. But he can find me just fine. I get finicky around the subject of rape. My sister recently broke up with her abusive ex. We were texting, and she told me that he had raped her, but didn't want to do anything besides go to therapy because it wasn't really worth it for a few reasons. My fiance read our messages because he thought it was his phone. He told me that I'm just as bad as my rapist for staying complicit in the situation. I just left. I shut down and disappeared for a while. I don't really know, but when I came to, I was walking in my pajamas a few blocks from home. He's calling me the asshole for leaving him and not handling the situation like an adult. So, am I the asshole?
That's so fucked up. First off, you did not accidentally read some messages because you thought it was somebody else's phone.
Yeah.
You would notice that. There's so many opportunities to notice that. You pick up the phone, it's a different case. you try to click
wallpaper.
The password, you got a different wallpaper. The passcode's probably different somehow.
And then you're like, oh, why is her sister texting me? Oh,
When's the
not texting me? It's so many safeguards there.
When's the last time you were just reading your old text messages? Never. So, first off, that's messed up. Second off, being complicit, you need to be confidential with the information that these survivors give to you. Obviously, if you're the type of person to go and tell whoever you want for whatever reason, then you're not a trustworthy person to go to. Now, in certain circumstances where they are going to be put in harm's way, again, then it makes more sense to intervene like that. But to just break someone's trust like that is messed up. And that's a conclusion, whether they want to file the police report or not. That's a conclusion that they need to reach on their own terms. Also, break up. I don't like how this guy sounds. And it's also I don't like the fact that he said that acting like an adult is resolving conflict right away. An adult knows the amount of time they need to process their emotions and thoughts before resolving a conflict. Because typically, people don't just come up with answers right away. They think about things and then come up with answers. And sometimes thinking takes longer than instantaneous.
Right.
If anything, adults don't always instantaneously come to conclusions because a responsible adult thinks things over.
Yes, especially if you're having an episode. Like, it's not even just like she was upset. It was literally like things were coming back, and staying in that house with him, accusing her of being as bad as her rapist, is just gonna make the PTSD worse.
And just that language. I mean, I don't know what point you're trying to prove there, because so he's upset with her for being complicit in the fact that she's not like outing what's going on with her sister to like the police or something.
That's what I think is happening. When I first read it, I was like, I'm sorry, are you trying to say that like rape victims in general are just as bad as their rapists because they let them have sex with them?
Yeah.
Like rape them? But
I don't know what the comparison is there. Like, I literally don't understand. I'm sorry, she's not, she's not raping her sister. She's not, she's not the one doing this. And I don't understand, like, sometimes I don't know if men just don't think about it, but like a big reason why, so many women don't come forward with their stories is because they're scared of backlash.
Yeah.
And, it's really important for women to come forward with these stories so things can be done about them. At the same time, there are women in certain positions that just like, they feel they can't afford to do that. They don't feel like they're in a safe spot to do that. They don't feel like they're going to be heard. Yeah. So you know, it's not his story, it's not her, you know, it's not OP's story to tell. It needs to be the sisters, because only she's going to, you know, be able to know when's the right time and what to do. I mean, she's the one who's in the position, and she got to take it at her own pace.
Right.
And I literally just don't understand break up, because I don't understand the comparison at all.
Right.
You're comparing her to her rapist for just not outing her sisters.
Right.
That's
Situation.
such an intentionally hurtful, fucked up thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then to be like, you know, react that way to her, you know, her traumatic reaction to
Yes.
that, like, you know, basically kind of like blacking out and then becoming conscious of where she is all of a sudden, like in the middle of the night, with this isn't an adult reaction. I'm sorry, but what you did wasn't an adult reaction. What you did seems
Right.
childish, and it's not even like childish. It's just
Ignorant,
and it literally doesn't make sense to me. I
Yeah.
literally don't understand the comparison he's making. I feel like he's just doing it because it sounds to me like he doesn't believe her.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
He doesn't believe her. He thinks that she's not the victim. He thinks that she's just playing victim.
Exaggerating
that, you know,
what rape is.
Yeah. So, yeah, break up with him. I agree with Justin.
Yeah. I don't know if he realizes this or not, but this metaphor that he's giving, or simile, I should say, that he's giving, that like she's as bad as the rapist because she's not reporting her sister's rapist. So then in that sense, you're saying that with OP's own situation, because she didn't come forward with her story, you're saying that she's just as bad as the man who raped her because she didn't report it. That doesn't make any
It doesn't make any sense. No.
And I went to school at UCSD, and there was a production of the Vagina Monologues, which is awesome and totally fun play to see. And at the very end of the play, they asked all the women in the room to stand up if they've been sexually harassed or assaulted. And almost every single woman in the audience stood up. I mean, this was like 100, 200 people in the room. And then they asked, like, please sit down if you have reported it. And like not even a fourth of these people sat down. And like, I'm going to be honest, because I think it's just important that we share these experiences. Just a personal experience of mine was that, yes, I was sexually assaulted. And I went to like the sexual assault center on campus to talk about it and learn what my options were. And they basically said my only option was I could either press charges or not. And I chose not to. It gets really hard to determine like what people are going to believe if you have no proof of it. You know, it's hard. And especially like if it happens to you, you just want to forget it and move on. Like I didn't want to be stuck in it. And that might seem selfish.
And that kind of option, that like ultimatum, really like makes it feel, you know, it's a horrible position to put the victim in, because it forces you to like sympathize with your predator.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to ruin their life, but they weren't worried about ruining yours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just so awful that, you know, women are, you know, put in these positions where it's either all or nothing. Like you're going to completely ruin this person's life and you're going to have to keep talking about it.
Right.
Because in order to press charges, you're going to need to put it in a statement and to keep talking to the police, or it's nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't like the position that they put you in, that they put, you know, it puts a lot of women in.
It's a lot harder said than done, because again, like you don't know what people are going to believe. And oftentimes things like rape are sexual assault, obviously. And then there are other things that might seem less significant. and they're not rape. So therefore you think it's not serious enough that people are going to do something about it. And like, I know that was like my headspace, and something like that can literally ruin your life, going public about it and then people not believing you and then, you know, all that coming out. So it's just a lot harder said than done. I'm going to read her edit, just more like an update. A majority of the comments are saying, leave him, and that's in the works. As far as my sister goes, I can't force her to make a report. I can't. And as much as I love my sister, we grew up in the same house, and she was just as traumatized as me. And I seriously doubt she would report after seeing the cops fail both of us so many times over the years. Especially since there's no evidence, and it's not uncommon to be treated awfully by the small town cops for letting yourself be raped. I know firsthand. If you think that means she's at fault or I am for not forcing it, that doesn't make us the bad guys. In this situation, she is the victim, and I'm not here for blaming the victim. Yeah. So,
I mean, it's a hard decision to make too. As someone who's a mandated reporter, I know.
Yeah, you've struggled with this type of thing firsthand.
Yeah, for like an entire year, just like having to report things, and so I understand the tricky position that puts, you know, somebody in. I mean, I'm sure she's not a mandated reporter,
right?
But you know, the fact that it's her sister, like if something happened to you, I would feel the need to, you know, report it,
right?
But at the same time, I think you bring up a really good point. I don't want to say that the system doesn't work or anything, but I think you're right in saying that, you know, part of women's decisions on whether or not they report this stuff goes along with, you know, the fact that a lot of the time people don't believe them. And then if people don't believe them, then all of a sudden they're the ones who did all the reporting.
Yeah.
And people look at them differently.
Yeah.
And they think they're a liar. So it's a hard decision to make. And I don't think we should be judging these people who went through what they went through for the decisions that they're making on their own personal experiences.
Right.
You know? So, I mean, yeah.
Well, that was definitely a more serious one, but my jaw just literally dropped when he said that. I was like...
Yeah, because it just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I'm like, how could someone say that?
He was just doing it to be mean.
And then, like, I'm looking at it again, and not only is there a huge age difference, but they've only known each other for a year.
Yeah, that huge age difference. I mean, that's what, like 8?
Yeah, 8 years.
That's not as big as it was in my head. But I mean, she's still a teenager, right?
Yeah, she's a teenager,
and he's nearing his 30s.
He's almost in his 30s.
I mean,
so just different places in life, and they haven't even been together a year, which they're fiancés, by the way. He obviously doesn't understand her reactions and processes with her PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's smart to marry someone so soon and they can't understand and guide you when you are going through an episode. I don't think that's a partner that's ready to be married to you.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm very relieved to hear that the breaking up with him or not being with him, leaving him, is in the works. So
yeah,
makes me feel good about the ending of the story.
All right, one more, last one. So this one's more comical. It gets pretty wild.
Okay.
So let's look at it here. So this was actually posted on r/Am I the Asshole, but I had to go on something called Undit, which I think is like the Wayback Machine, but like different. So, because this post and like all of his comments got deleted, and everyone's comments were saying that the stuff that explains what's going on were like all in his comments. So I had to access his comments. And so this is where I found it, on a website called Undit.
Okay.
It was posted on r/Am I the Asshole by Bro Getting Married. The title of this post is, Am I the asshole for asking the guys in my bridal party to fly to Vegas twice for my bachelor party? So, backstory. I'm getting married, and I've asked all my long-term friends from high school and college to be my groomsmen. So these are guys who I thought were my literal ride or dies, but now it seems like something as simple as my bachelor party is going to break up the friend group. I want to do my bachelor party in Vegas. In fact, I always have. Because things I want to do are on the weekend of Memorial Day, Steve Aoki at Wet Republic, and the weekend after, special once-in-a-lifetime event, but I have to work in between. I figured my friends would be cool flying out twice. After all, it's Vegas. Who wouldn't love that? But when I asked, 10 out of 10 said I was being overly demanding and I needed to pick one event. 6 of them said it was a lot to ask to travel, period. And 2 said their kids and wives are more important than Steve Aoki on Memorial Day.
I like your change of tone as you're reading this.
Thanks. I sent what I thought was a polite email telling them how we were friends and doing stuff for friends is part of the pact we make. Just now I received 8 responses that range from just stop to I'm out of the bridal party, dude. I don't need to be guilted into a trip I don't want anyways. Am I really being the asshole for this? Honest feedback, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Maya? Yes or no?
I mean, yeah. It makes me feel like he must be the a-hole of the friend group, like, all the time, because the fact that these people are like, this isn't even a trip I want to take in the first place. I'm like, whoa. Like, what? Because I'm sorry, but it's not, I mean, it's a stereotypical thing, but stereotypically, it's not unheard of. There are many men who stereotypically like to go to Vegas for their bachelor parties, and all those men want to go because they are going to do typical things for a bachelor party in Vegas. Like, that's just the thing. So to hear that there are all these men who are like, nah, like, I didn't even want to go in the first place. It makes me think like there was already some tension in the relationship before all this. I mean, it sounds to me like he is kind of a little selfish and asks for a lot. Maybe he was a spoiled child, you know, getting everything that he wants. But yeah, it sounds to me like he maybe this personality trait that he has that's obviously leaking into his bachelor party just happens to be part of his natural self that he is with his friends all the time, because to me it doesn't really sound like his friends like him to begin with. Like I was listening to the reactions and I was like, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's realistic. I don't know why it's coming to am I the a-hole, because like I don't think it's that big a deal. I mean, he's asking if they can come for, you know, 2 weekends in Vegas. If they can't, they can. If not, if not. I don't know exactly what he's saying to the friends to like make like guilt them. Like if he's saying like, you don't love me if you don't come to Vegas. Like I don't know what he's saying to them.
It sounds like he kind of did that though.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I was like, it just sounded like the arguments were starting before it even got to that point. That's what I picked up from as you were reading.
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe if I read it a second time, I might hear it a different way. I just was like, I feel like they already don't like him and are also, you know, using this as a way to be like, yeah, like this, we didn't want to go to this trip in the first place. I'm going to quit your bridal party. Like, whoa, those are some fighting words for a man who's about to get married. I'm not going to be in your bridal party because I don't want to take 2 trips to Vegas. Like, wow. Jeez, why can't you just say, I really can't come, dude? Like, take it or leave it, and then just leave it at that. I don't know.
Okay, I like that take. Justin?
I just think it's interesting. I feel like we need more context, though.
Yeah.
More context.
Like, where are they from?
Yeah, that's true.
Where is the wedding going to be? But it's like if you're going from like somewhere else in the country, a Las Vegas trip can be really expensive, even just one.
Right.
So to ask somebody to make that trip twice it's hefty. And also he said that these are all his like high school and college buddies, and then they're at the point now where it sounds like they're married and have kids. So I'm not sure exactly how close they are now to be asking for all of this. Obviously, they can just be like, I don't want to do 2 trips to Vegas. Right. If I could just come for the wedding, that's cool. And then maybe I don't want to be a part of the groomsmen festivities. Also, I'm curious because he's talking about, oh, these are my like high school, college friends. Like, how many is it? 10? He said?
Yeah, 10.
That is a lot of groomsmen to have.
Yeah.
So he might be spreading himself a little thin here.
Yeah.
In the friendship bin.
I think it's important to point out that it's not just the flight to Las Vegas. It's also seeing Steve Aoki, who I don't know who that is.
Who is that?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Hold on. I think it sounds so familiar.
I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it, but I think that's... I would think.
Oh, he's a American DJ.
Okay.
Okay, that's not...
So they'd be like paying to go to a concert or a club. And then also...
what was the special event?
Thank you. Yes. They would be going to a special once-in-a-lifetime event.
Was it going to be like a hot dog eating contest and he didn't want to admit how lame it was, so he just called it a special?
It's not a hot dog eating contest.
Oh, does he say what it is?
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
There's a user, Resident Caprice, who says, "You're the asshole. Groomzilla. Are you paying the accommodations and air tickets? Traveling once is bad enough, but twice? You don't sound mature enough to be married. Others have responsibilities and lives of their own. For those who have family commitments, holidays are usually spent with their families, not riding or dying with you in Las Vegas."
Jeez, people are so mean. Like, okay, like, again, we didn't hear exactly what he was saying. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I missed it.
I
didn't hear exactly what he said.
Again.
Okay.
He said that he asked, and his friends told him he was being overly demanding and that he needed to pick one event.
See, that's where I'm like, what?
My guess is when he asked, it was
I need to know how he asked.
Yeah.
Because if I was just like, hey, guys, like, I know it's a lot, but I was, really hoping to go to these 2 events for my bachelorette party. Like, do you guys think that maybe you could come down, like, one weekend and then the next weekend? Like, do you guys think you'd be able to do that? And then if my friends were like, my God, you're being, like, an over demanding person. You're asking so much of us, like, to hang out with you in Vegas. Like, I think I'd be like, what the heck? You could have just told me no. Right. Like, oh, sorry, I can't.
But even then after, basically they said no, and then he wrote up a follow-up email saying, come on, like, we're friends. This is part of being friends. I'm guilting you.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. Well, still, I don't know how he worded it in the first place.
My guess is that he was
not worded
demanding
well.
it. Yeah.
If that's how it was.
Like, you guys,
you
as my groomsmen, everyone needs to buy 2 tickets or 4 tickets if it's not round trip, and we need to go to Las Vegas twice. And it's like, dude, that's way too demanding. Pick one event.
Yeah.
But OP's response to this comment was, "Oh, when the first 2 got married, we all chipped in and paid for the bachelor parties. I thought they'd do the same for me." Another user, Consistent Leopard 71, says, "You chipped in and traveled for 2 different people, 1 time for each. You're being wildly entitled and demanding. You're the asshole." OP then says, "One just wanted to go to a Phillies game, and the other wanted to spend a Saturday at Six Flags. I actually thought I was doing them a favor by making up for the fun they missed at their bachelor parties."
Oh, that is so rude. Wow. Yeah, their bachelor parties weren't fun at all. Wow. See, this is why no one likes you.
Yeah.
And also going back to we chipped in for those. Yeah, they chipped in for a trip to Six Flags.
Yeah.
Not 2 trips to Vegas. Was this person just like they found their hill that they wanted to die on and they were just fighting a war in the comments trying to keep themselves
that's the thing. The people
afloat?
So many Reddit posts are like, tell me, like, I really need to understand. And like, he did the same thing, like, please tell me honest feedback. And then everyone's telling him and he's like, no, you don't understand. But hold on. So, someone says, "You're the asshole. You can't expect your friends to drop literally everything in their lives just because you want to do something for your bachelor party twice." Bro Getting Married says, "Technically, they're supposed to pay for my accommodations." And then
what?
And then another user says, "Dude, you really expected them to pay for you to go to Vegas twice? It would be bad enough if you were asking them to pony up for the trips, but you're asking them to bankroll you for 2 trips? That just feels like you're using them. No wonder there's 10 groomsmen, am I right?
Yeah. If that's what he was banking on, oh my gosh.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand you need a large group of friends to do activities that are more expensive. Like how I used to want to get 20 people together and then we all chip in a very reasonable amount of around $20 to buy Burger King's $1.49 10-piece chicken nuggets. And if we had 10 people chipping in $20, we could purchase 1,000 chicken nuggets as a collective group.
Whoa.
See, that is efficient planning right there.
Yeah, and I'm not asking for too much. I'm asking for $20, and we all get to have a photo shoot with 1,000 chicken nuggets.
Okay. Anyways, and so
Don't steal my idea.
Okay.
By the way, anyone listening, do not steal my idea.
Oh, you already know what's happening.
But if you want to take part in it, I'll set up a page soon so that we can connect.
Oh, okay.
Right.
The Justin
Yeah.
Chicken Nugget Club.
He'll be promoting it on our podcast soon.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Okay. OP then says, it's the tradition and I would do it for them. No questions asked. Someone says, technically, they're supposed to choose and plan your bachelor party if you really want to get technical about it. OP then says, I actually totally agree, but I'm a little worried they'd choose something really boring. So I'm gonna read a comment that explains a comment that I think he deleted. So this person, Accurate Loser, says, the reason he won't go with his future spouse is because the once-in-a-lifetime event is a meet and greet he was invited to by an OnlyFans girl he pays $50 a month for, and he knows his future wife would immediately break off the wedding if she found out. Then he continues to say, because OP, this is why I'm trying to find the comments, because somewhere in here, OP admits to all of this stuff, but I think he deleted these comments. So people who have been on this from the beginning are making sure that everyone knows why he's doing this.
Okay. Wow.
So basically, there's a whole bunch of comments that keep asking about, like, why are you doing this? He's also, I guess, there's like a $400 fee to like go see this girl. And I think it might be for one person, but I'm not 100% sure. And he's basically expecting his groomsmen to pay for this, for him to be able to see this OnlyFans girl at the meet and greet. Someone asks him about this girl and he says, yes, she's on OnlyFans, but I've been talking to her for over a year and she'll be at the club and I can't pass up the opportunity to meet her. It's a once in a lifetime chance, and plus there'll be other dancers from my friends, so it's not just for me.
Well, no wonder the guys reacted like that to the first time he asked.
Right. And someone says, does your fiance know about this meet and greet? How do you know this person for this meet and greet? And that's when he explains, like, I follow her on OnlyFans and we have conversations. And he says, nope, she'd dump me in a heartbeat. And he says that several times throughout this. In one comment, he says, no, she'd break off the wedding immediately if she knew I was paying $50 a month for an OnlyFans girl.
Someone figure out who this man is so we can tell his wife or fiance that.
Yeah.
What's happening.
And he just sounds so stupid because throughout the entire post, people are like, you're not special. Like, why are you even trying to go there? And he's like, and he just keeps saying, guys, she invited me. She invited me to come.
Oh my God.
For the low price of $400.
Yeah. Right? That's exactly my thinking. So just to ease everyone's minds, he does end up getting caught. I don't know how, but a commenter just comments, she found out and the wedding is off, according to his recent replies.
Reddit's full of detectives. You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
I hope one of the groomsmen said something. That's what I hope.
Me too. Like, I would be so upset if you have like kinks or whatever, and I don't know, like there's something you feel like you need or you want to do, like at least talk to your partner about it, because they might be okay with it, you know? I know that there are people in relationships who pay for people on OnlyFans and things like that. But then there are other people who, yeah, that's a line that they don't want crossed. And it's clear to him that that is something that his wife doesn't want. So I'm sorry, you guys aren't compatible. So you just shouldn't be getting married.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Yes, babe.
Not only does he pay $50 a month for this OnlyFans girl, but he is going out of his way to see her in person. Just completely pining after this woman while in a fully committed engagement.
That is exactly what I was thinking. And the fact, too, that, first of all, everyone in the comments is like, you're not special. And he's like, no, she invited me. Yeah. And then he specifically wants to do this before he gets married. To me, it sounds like, oh, I have a chance, so I need to figure out if I have a chance before I get married.
Yes.
That's what I don't like as well about all of this. Yeah. Like, I was thinking the exact same thing, Justin. Like, literally. I was like, I mean, I don't know. So he's saying his wife doesn't know about the monthly payments he makes for this OnlyFans person. So, okay. So that's another thing. Like, some people I know have, talked with their partners about paying for things like that or doing things, having those kinds of services or whatever. But it's another thing to go behind your partner's back and, like, go beyond that and, like, meet the OnlyFans person in person and interact with them and have conversations with them online. I don't know if that's, like, part of it. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, he says that he talks to her. Like, he's talked to her for at least a year.
This man is a liar. Yeah. Like, and an exaggerator. I don't know. He is messed up. I'm glad that the wedding's off. It sounds like that the wedding's off.
Any more thoughts?
These were all very jaw-dropping. I can't believe what we just read.
I know, right? I wish this story had ended with more of a punch. I think it got lost at the end because I think he was deleting comments. But so I apologize for that. But yeah, that is what the fuck did I just read?
I love it.
Well, it's stuff like this that just makes me happy that you guys are in my life because I feel like
I mean, so you would never put Nair in my conditioner or
not yet anyways.
Oh, gonna have to sniff my conditioner from now on, I guess.
But I feel like the beautiful part about this is that every time we come home at the end of the day, I feel like everything that's jaw-dropping in my life, I can just come home and tell you guys and feel supported.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like telling our own Reddit stories.
That is just the perfect way to explain it, Maya. Yeah. It's like telling our own Reddit stories. So I love you both very much.
I love you guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love you guys.
All right. Are we
hungry?
I know. We're hungry. Me and Justin haven't eaten
dinner. Yeah. My God. I know. I'm sitting here thinking about dessert and you guys haven't even had dinner.
These guys are real troopers. They're so nice. Thank you guys for doing this on a Tuesday night after work. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for writing the good stories. I like the tea.
Thank you. So don't forget to subscribe, like, comment to, all of our socials. We're on Twitter and Instagram, Patreon. And you can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music, as well as several podcast indexes. And make sure to please, please, please give us a star rating and a review or comment, like, subscribe, wherever you can support us. The reviews can really help us on Apple Podcasts in particular. We'd really appreciate it. So thank you to all our listeners, all our friends and family out there. We really appreciate your support. It's fun. Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye. How?